The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our feelings, and then make those characters fight for our amusement and also yours. I am your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as always, is Ken Napzok.
Happy to be here as we race towards Databank 100.
Databank 100, yes. And if you're listening, going, what's going on with that? I got a plan. Got something big, real big.
Putting together a team?
I'm putting together a team. We're going to do a heist in actual real life. We're going to get the Zoom. We're going to go and try to steal something from Target and see if we get in it.
Well, there you go.
No. It'll be like that, but less legally dangerous for Ken and I.
Yes.
We are recording in the morning, so right now we only have the sweet memory of last night's whiskey. No actual whiskey present for this episode of Databank Brawl.
We'll see what it does.
We'll see what happens. Ken, are you ready to get right into it?
Love it. Let's do it.
All right. Our first combatant is one of those characters that it is shocking that the character has not appeared on Databank Brawl. Seems like an obvious candidate, and so here he is finally, Dr. Cornelius Evazan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right?
You would have thought that would have been like one of the first.
I have had him in the roster of like, ooh, what about,
Right.
yeah, he got bumped a while back because we had a bunch of doctors in a row.
Yeah.
But he is back to fight the good fight, and here's what StarWars.com Databank has to say about this fellow. A grubby, scarred smuggler from Alsacan? Cornelius Evazan was once a promising surgeon, but became notorious for conducting cruel medical experiments. Dr. Evazan tried to bully Luke Skywalker in the Mos Eisley Cantina, boasting that he faced a death sentence in 12 systems. The doctor and his pal, Baba, assumed the young farm boy would be an easy target and paid little heed to the old man in dusty robes who'd accompanied young Luke into the bar. That was a fatal mistake. When Evazan hurled Luke aside and pulled his blaster, Obi-Wan Kenobi coolly ignited his lightsaber and cut Evazan down. There you go. A little bit about his backstory, but mostly just a detailed description of where and when he died.
Yep. So definitely, when I go to Wikipedia, this is one where I have to avoid the Legends tab.
The Legends tab is like Stephen King length, right?
Yes,
it's like the Tommy Knockers length in there, right?
Impressive, most impressive.
But for his general stats, what do you got on the old wilds of Wikipedia?
Yeah, height is 1.77 meters. He is a male human from, like you said, I want to say Alaskan, but
It's just a jerk of a Star Wars planet.
Yeah.
It's Alsacan, right?
Alsacan. A jumbled Alaska.
Yep.
Hair color brown and gray. Eye color hazel. Look at beautiful hazel eyes. Skin color light, but I would describe it as like dusty and dirty. Like he's always covered in grime.
Excellent. And for people who don't immediately have a mental picture of Dr. Cornelius Evazan, let's describe this hideous MFer.
Yeah. So, neck down, he's kind of an average human male, He's not heavy set. He's not built. He's just trolling around the galaxy doing his thing, man. But then for the neck up, he's got half of a normal face. Nice little mustache going. A little poofy 1970s kind of haircut there. But on the right side of his face, I can't. It's surgery gone bad. It's something because he's a plastic surgeon. So I think it was like he messed up on himself, squished nose. Infamous face in Star Wars.
Yeah. Turned his nose the wrong way. His eye socket is all pointing in weird directions. Yeah, his eyebrows have a lot to say too.
Yeah,
there's really a lot going on with his face. Do you have pictures up about like what the rest of his? I know it looks normal, but like what is he wearing? Is he just got a normal little vest?
Yeah, he's kind of. I want to say. Would you describe him as Tatooine normal? I don't know. He's got that kind of desert garb. That's a good question there. Because we see him a lot. I
own his action figure. I should have stared at it better.
Rogue One, you see a little bit more. He's got a dirty shirt, jacket. He's not a stylish doctor.
Okay, so he's just got a little, but yeah, it's not a cool jacket.
When in doubt, go to the action figure like you said. Just a normal pant and boot combination with the utility belt. And I Tatooine chic. I definitely feel he's like Tatooine chic.
Oh yeah, look at that. There's a picture of Ponda Baba with his arm off. That's a hilarious, beautiful picture. Look, yeah, this guy, his belt is hung low too. Look at what a savage that is. Look at those two buddies.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Wow.
The actor, the late actor, Alfie Curtis, who played him. If you've seen pictures of Alfie Curtis, I don't know how to describe it. He kind of looks like him. he's got a very character-based face. You can see why they cast that actor in that role, and he passed away recently. So thank you so much for bringing us, Doctor.
Absolutely. I think we always assume that his face got messed up because of some sort of surgery, since that's his backstory. But honestly, it looks like he fell asleep up against an oven, and his face smushed upward a little bit on one side.
That's fair.
I don't know what my headcanon's going to be there. What's going on in Wikipedia? What do we have that's in canon for his backstory these days?
So they definitely, this is one of the times where they combined and created a new story, and they combined it with a lot of the EU stuff. He was known as Rufu for a long time in the Legends, or what is now Legends, and Ponda Baba was known as Saki, and that kind of went away. But really, they incorporated that back into the story. If you look the Rogue One Visual Dictionary, Pablo Hidalgo did some of his best work, I think, really kind of layering some of the stuff in his descriptions. There's a lawman that's there on Jeddah looking for him.
Okay.
And the weird decraniated characters that you see, the cyborgs with their heads chopped off in half, that was Evazan's work. And he was
just curious what would happen if people didn't have skull caps.
Yeah, they described it as ghastly medical techniques to produce an order of servants known as the decraniated.
Wow.
So that's what was there, and that kind of lines up with some of the stories.
Yeah.
And from Legends, and I had fun with that. And in the Dr. Aphra comic, that lawman, I forget his name, but he and one of the decraniated are in a relationship, and they're part of Aphra's crew. And things kind of went wonky after.
Jeddah, and I think that there are some theories that he's been spotted in the background of Solo as well.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
That detective, if I am remembering correctly.
Oh, the lawman. Yes,
the lawman.
Yeah, I think you're right. The lawman.
What excitement!
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get that in Solo. Maybe there'll be a post-credit scenes where Evazan falls asleep against an oven, and we find out his actual backstory. All right, how do you feel about this character? This is a legacy one that you've known for a long time.
This is a great character. This is a fun character. Even as a kid on the playgrounds, you would be quoting with your friends, "He doesn't like you." I'm sorry, I don't like you either. Like it's just wacky, crazy cantina fun, and it's a staple. And I think it sets up. There's a legacy to this character where you kind of expect that weird sci-fi disgusting face with a normal world street tough that bad. I mean, that kind of stuff pops up a lot in Star Wars.
Yeah. He's just such a great hyper exaggeration of everything that Obi-Wan just warned Luke about. Like, this place can be a little rough, and Luke's just not listening.
Yeah,
he'll be dead.
Our good buddy Mike Black always good point. Like, what a jerk. He gets his friend Ponda Baba. Gets his arm cut off.
Yeah.
Because he started the fight. Ponda Baba didn't start it.
Yeah, you have to imagine that Evazan is pretty far gone to be starting that trouble for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, I've always loved this guy. He's one of those, like, when I was a young kid, they would play A New Hope at the library, and it would just happen to be on certain times when we went to the library. And he'd be one of those, like, I hope we get to see just a minute of that scary weirdo, because I had my Walrus Man action figure. So Walrus Man was known in my heart. And then it was that reminder of, like, but he's with the other guy, the pig-nosed man.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is because there wasn't a counter figure of him in the first run, right? No, there was not. Ponda Baba, we know. Walrus Man, famously now. Hammerhead, and all that stuff there. Oh, thanks, Kenner. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of when I actually knew his name, because I didn't read a lot of Legend stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't read the EU, so it might have been actually well into the mid-'90s where I was like, oh, he has a name?
Yeah, it's all the Power of the Force action figures. For me, was a lot of that introduction. A lot of times where the names got established in the role playing games in the late '80s, and then they went wide. I was so excited to buy Pig Nose Man.
Yeah.
And have him in my life forever.
Cornelius is there for you.
The doctor is waiting. All right, so the doctor is gonna fight. I had to find somebody worthy. And when you're talking Databank Brawl, sometimes worthy means actually cool and sometimes means the crappiest character you can find.
Oh, yeah.
And I went with one of the crappiest characters I could find. Dr. Cornelius Evazan will be fighting the beloved Star Wars character known as Magaloof.
I gotta hope that comes up.
While you're looking, here's what StarWars.com Databank has to say about Magaloof. A Leffy Knight from Almac, Magaloof was a speeder thief who crossed paths with Obi-Wan Kenobi while the Jedi clung to an assassin droid zipping across the busy sky lanes of Coruscant. Magaloof had seen a lot of things since coming to Coruscant, but a Jedi clutching a droid kilometers above the ground was a new one, even for him.
All right. I know who it is. How do you spell that?
Magaloof. And I'm choosing to say Magaloof.
Yep, that definitely comes up. Magaloof. Yeah, yes. I know exactly. I don't know why I need to defend my credibility. I know exactly who this character was the moment you described it. A species. How do you say that species?
It is Leffingite. I said a Leffy Knight.
Leffy Knight.
A Leffy Knight, which sounds like a swear word for sure.
Horn heads, 2 pairs of eyes, orange colored skin. Magaloof was a Leffingite. Leffingite from the world of Almac. And Almac is very close to Melmac in my mind.
I was going to say, it sounds like an elf planet, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I love it.
Are there any other details on Wikipedia about the life, the times of Magaloof?
No, they pretty much just have... No, what you've just read is there, so I won't remix it. I do like, though, that although Magaloof had seen a number of odd sights, he had never seen a Jedi in such a position before. But the quote, we always get a quote.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The quote
we try to remember quotes,
We try to. The quote from Wikipedia is, "What the..." Yeah.
Is it actually audible that he says "what the" in basic?
In basic, I guess.
Here is why I picked this guy. All these years now of doing Databank Brawl, almost 100 episodes, it is beginning to be incredibly mystifying to me of which characters rate an entry on Databank, because there are a ton of characters. Like, obviously, I understand just they haven't gotten to the novels.
Sure.
Maybe they don't want to visualize it. Whatever, but this is literally is it just that when they started the databank, George liked him?
Right.
Or there wasn't as much, there was only the first 6 films to work with? Like, why does he have an entry?
I think we need to do some investigative reporting and see over the years, because I'm sure who has been in charge of the databank or working on it has changed over the years. I think we need to figure out the process, because this just might be someone in an office going, who's that guy for the clubs?
Yeah, did somebody have a quota? Like, I'm talking like maybe 2006, friend Bonnie Burton used to work there. I can answer. Was there a databank quota? And somebody's like, I don't know. I want to go to lunch. Magaloof.
Magaloof. It's like, did they go down the hall to Leland Chee and go, hey, Leland, do you know? No, I don't. No, I don't know who that is.
It was an alien in a speeder. Yeah, Magaloof. But worthy of an entry that is longer than some major characters.
Yes. 1.4 meters in height.
Oh, okay. Shorty.
Male from Leffingite. Eye color blue, skin color, the aforementioned, and promised orange.
And there is basically no way for us to know what's going on with his body.
No, I imagine it's Alf-like.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any kind of concept art there? We can look that up, of course.
Yeah, let me describe his face a little bit, because I think this one deserves more. He's definitely in that pocket of prequel aliens. If you saw this face on a pod racer, you'd go, yeah.
Yeah.
So got a big mouth with some tusk-type teeth sticking out of the bottom, big, flappy, almost goat-like ears. He's got those kind of a double set of horns.
Right.
Big prominent horns, and then looks like little backup horns. But his eyes, he has, when people in the 1940s drew caricatures of Bing Crosby. This is what his eyes look like. They're kind of sleepy because the eyelids are on a diagonal. So he looks like he's always like, oh no, oh my.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Usually you can do an image search and find out some stuff,
Nope.
And there is a town called Magaloof or Magaloof. I want to say it's a European town. I'm trying to figure out where that actually is. And it's quite a party town because and someone just did this is weird. It's a resort town, the Spanish island of Majorca. I'm saying that wrong, I know. And it's known for its lively nightlife and long fine sand beach. So when you type in Magaloof, 2 L's and an F, Google keeps saying it as Magaloof, L-U-F. And now a British guy plunged off a 22-foot balcony there 2 days ago. So I'm trying to get Star Wars information, and it keeps coming back to this.
Horrible tragedy. I, too, went through this battle because, I need to see this guy's face up close. And I had a hard time getting away from the resort town to my Star Wars.
Yeah, it really did.
Insanity.
And then we do
rare where the internet is like, you don't mean that.
Yeah,
you do not mean what you type. Like, I understand. I had to put in Magaloof Star Wars in order to get to this weirdo's face.
Yeah, and then I'm doing an image search to try to see what the guy looks like, and there's pictures I don't feel comfortable viewing that are in this party town.
That's what we got to do. If somebody really wants a project, if you could go through those actual resort photos and Photoshop in Magaloof in the background. His nose is kind of smashed in, too, so I wonder if he has breathing problems. I don't know.
Okay.
We know nothing about this character except he's seen some things.
I went down an internet wormhole live on air.
That's what we do this for, man, for the adventures, the surprises.
Yeah.
So we got a character that we know a decent amount about, and a character that opened season on Magaloof.
Yes.
Magaloof. All right.
Like that.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's fight. As always, we decide where and when this fight will occur. We got a lot to choose from, really, era-wise. Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. I love this idea. I don't want it to be on Coruscant.
Yeah, right? No, that's fine.
That's fine. Though I do love a good Coruscant fight. I think, stop me if I'm going crazy, I think Magaloof was a potential client for Dr. Cornelius Evazan. Magaloof had some issues. You've just described some things that don't paint a pretty picture.
No.
He wanted some horn work done.
Yeah.
Maybe some eyelids lifted. He's a vain Leffengate.
Yeah.
And he had sought out the help of Dr. Evazan at some point. That's the prologue to this story.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
And I think maybe he's been trying to track down Evazan throughout the galaxy.
Yeah. You have a planet or a place you want to go to?
I don't yet. I was thinking, in honor of Magaloof, some kind of party.
Oh, a resort
planet, or a resort. Not named Canto Bight, but if there's like a Scarif Minor.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just make it up. Who cares?
Yeah, okay.
Let's make up a name. Let's have it be
the Party Planet.
Bustin.
Bustin. No, the Bustin.
How about Bustin Major?
Bustin Major.
Like people are having a big dance party.
Bustin Major is our party planet. It's a mid-rim planet, not too far from the core world, so you can get to it relatively cheaply.
Yeah.
Bustin Major.
And it's been just built up to be like Canto Bight, where like there's large swaths of the planet that are empty.
Right.
But then there are others. It's just a resort party town.
Fair.
Yeah. This is where you go for space spring break.
Space break.
To Bustin Major. And I think Magaloof is going there. He's heard that Dr. Cornelius Evazan has a job. All of the different species go there. They all have different standards of beauty, but they all want to look beautiful in bikinis.
Right.
On this, resort planet of Bustin Major. And Dr. Cornelius Evazan is allegedly doing amazing jobs understanding all of the anatomy of different sentient beings and making them look just hot as hell.
Yeah.
And in his culture from Olmec, you're considered attractive if your horns are taller.
Yes,
so he's going in
horns.
for a horn extension.
Horn extension. Oh, no. That's a great idea. Horn extensions. They can go wrong.
They can go wrong.
They can absolutely go wrong.
All right. So I think Evazan's got a shop set up, right?
Yeah, he's got a little tiny hole-in-the-wall shop.
Yeah.
And there's some decraniated people on this planet serving drinks.
Yeah.
But there's only a couple of them. People are like, we don't know when they showed up. They just...
Yeah. Oh, apparently you can just see their brains, right?
Yeah.
Their brains are just hanging out there, baking in the sun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Magaloof is walking by, and I think he's maybe even mumbling out loud to himself, a little tourist that he is. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was some species considered attractive to let their brains hang out. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think, for some reason, in my mind, Dr. Evazan's shop, it has like almost like an old school, old-time shoppy wooden sign.
Yes. Like just with one like spike driving it into the wall.
Yeah.
Evanson's place.
Evazan's place.
Yeah.
Come in for beauty, it says.
Yes. Come here to look good. So
Come look good.
Megaloof, I guess, walks in. I don't know if he rolls or flops in.
Who knows?
But we'll say he walks in.
Let's say he's got a tail, too. So he's dragging a tail.
Dragging a tail, 2 feet. Stumbles on in.
Yep.
Little chime on the door. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Ching, ching, ching. It's a weird...
Watu had with like
it's a chime, but it's strangely, it rings in minor chords, so it's ominous. Ching, 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 ching. And that should scare Magaloof off, but I don't think he's as worldly as he wants to think he is.
No, even though he was at one point on Coruscant.
So he walks in, and I think he encounters right there at the desk, maybe with a bloody smock on, Dr. Cornelius Evazan.
Yes.
And what does Evazan say?
What do you want here?
Well, I've heard you're the, if not the best in the business, you're certainly in the business of making beings look attractive, and I would like a horn extension.
You sure you don't want your head? I can do some stuff with your head. I don't know why Evans now from like Bronx, but
no, I just want my horns to be long and beautiful.
And Evanson makes like a sudden move when he steps on up, and he's like got a little scout, and it's bloody, like you said, it's bloody, maybe got some matter on it, and he starts like tapping at the horns.
Oh yeah.
Go away. These are good. Go away. I don't have time for this.
Oh, but our horns are very sensitive, and you're causing various reactions throughout my body every time you touch the horn.
Just tapping it.
Some pleasant, some unpleasant sensations radiating from within my being. I have many credits, and I think he pulls out like a little suitcase.
Yes,
it's a space suitcase, of course, so it's got a cool. It steams for some reason, and there's just a huge pile of credits there.
Evanson looks it over, and he takes it in. There's a beat, and he looks up at Magaloof and goes, I like you. All right, give me a minute. Goes back. You hear some struggling. You hear like, you're not done. Get out of here. I don't like you either. I got the death sentence on 14 planets now. Timeline. So Evans comes down and says, come on back. And Megaloof's brought back to a operating table that is, it's not a 3-star even operating table. The Yelp reviews would be bad about this doctor's office. It's bad shape, bloody, weird matter. There's whoever was back here with is gone. And there's some rusty tools. And he asks Magaloof, why don't you get up on this table? Do you want to get up here now? Come on, pop up here.
Okay, and he crawls up, and there's harsh lighting in here. It's like, it's definitely mad scientist. It's just kind of the one flickering, light.
Swings.
It swings for sure. It's Batman 89 all the way.
Yes.
And it's casting shadows, so Magaloof suddenly has this frightened realization, and because he's not good at keeping things internal, he just says it out loud. He's like, oh my, I thought your face, I didn't really see your face. I thought your face was the way your species should look, but you're just a human who has had something awful happen to one side of your face. And I'm going to be honest, that concerns me.
I'm not a doctor. I am a doctor, but I'm more of an artist. This is my art.
Oh, so
it's always in progress.
Your face is in progress?
Yes.
What do you, if it's a work of art, does it have like a name? Like, is there a name for your face?
Yes, this is called Pigman face. My friend Panda, I gave him a walrus man face.
Oh, but is he an Aqualish? Because they just have walrus faces.
I improved it.
Oh, okay. All right. You know, my credits and I are starting to have some second thoughts, and I think he tries to get up, and I don't think Evazan's having it.
Evanson puts a strong, firm hand on his chest, pushes him back down, and starts to try to strap him down to the table.
He's trying to strap him down to the table. Okay, and Magaloof can't have that. Magaloof starts yelling like, "Look, I've seen some things. I'm not naive."
Yeah.
He fully sees the blood splatter and realizes that he is going to become a work of quote unquote art.
Yeah. And right at that time, as he's struggling, a decraniated walks in and is like, "Doctor, do you want your drinks for this evening? Shall I prepare a bath?" And he's like, "Get out of here. Get out of here." And now Megaloof's like, "I can't become that."
Yeah.
Stakes just got raised.
Stakes got so high. And Magaloof uses his tail. He bunches it up behind him, and it's got a surprisingly spring-like quality. He shoots himself, rockets himself out of the chair.
Yes.
He slams into a cabinet, because this isn't elegant. He escapes the buckling that Evazan was trying. He slams into a cabinet and falls to the ground. The cabinet flies open, and inside the cabinet is all of the skulls of the decraniated that he has removed.
Half-cut skulls.
The half-cut skulls rain down, and like an old cartoon, they bonk Magaloof on the head like coconuts off a palm tree. Boop, 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 boop.
Set the apple cart here.
Yep.
Yes. Ooh, not good. Not good. So Evanson starts coming towards him with 2 scalpels in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, "Now you're ruining my office."
Vibro scalpels, right?
Vibro scalpels.
Vibro scalpels.
Yeah. Actually, he's got one vibro scalpel, and he's got one like old school, old Republic scalpel that's rusty and not in good shape.
All right, so this is from the old times.
Yes, the old-timey times.
Old-timey times. Nice. Okay, and I think Dr. Evazan is like a crazy medical Jackson Pollock. That he likes to create wild, new artwork. And that means, hey, what if Magaloof just didn't have an arm? How about that?
Yes.
So I think he goes for a swipe with his scalpel to try to deconnect Magaloof's arm.
Right.
Do you think he makes it?
I think he gets a good slash in there. Doesn't take the arm off entirely, but it's not a pretty picture.
Okay. Is there spurting?
Spurting, and Magaloof goes, "Wah, wah, what the?"
What color is the spurt?
Yeah. The spurt is yellowish.
Yellow. Okay, nice.
A mustard yellow.
A mustard, just Dijon, right?
Yeah.
Disturbing, very disturbing.
I am ready for lunch. Yes. Yes.
But I think Magaloof he's lucky because they have his species, Lephinites, have a lot of blood.
They're known for their
They can
amounts of blood.
lose a lot of blood and be okay, which is part of what makes them so adventurous as they go about the galaxy trying to see new things.
Right.
So, and Magaloof just says this out loud, like, "I have a lot of blood." And I think he squeezes his arm and redirects it and shoots his own blood into Evazan's messed up eye. Because the eye's not right. The flesh doesn't completely adhere to the pupil, so there's a hole there.
Yeah.
There's an eye gap that shouldn't be there, and he gets his blood in it's like Dr. Evazan's eye gap.
A weird Fairley Brothers comedy scene. There's just this there's like just yellow Dijon mustard space blood.
So gross.
Pouring into this messed up face and an eye socket. That's like a half an eye socket because there's an eye still in there. It's not.
This is not pretty.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is upsetting.
In fact,
it's deeply upsetting.
The decraniated person, the servant, walks back in and reads this. I don't know how they see the technology, and then just kind of turns around and is like, "I'm leaving this one behind."
Yeah, I think they do that gesture if they wipe their hands. Like, nope, I'm out.
Blackjack dealer.
Yep, they are done.
Yeah.
So Evazan is getting blasted in the eye, and I think this only makes him more. We know he's quick to anger, right?
Very quick to anger. Yes, absolutely. So he is now through the roof angry.
And he likes comebacks too, as we saw with Luke Skywalker.
Pithy comebacks.
I'll be careful, you'll be dead. So what pithy comeback does he have when Magaloof says, I have a lot of blood?
He says, Not anymore. It belongs to me. That's not even funny, but he just says it.
But I like it because I think he actually what he does is he grabs a jar.
Yes.
And he starts containing the blood.
Yeah, he's like, thanks for the specimens.
That is the creepiest catchphrase. Thanks for the specimens. So yeah, he's grabbing it up. Magaloof, I think, is putting pressure on the wound now, and I think Magaloof is heading toward the door to try to get out of there.
Try to limp out.
But Evazan's not done.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No, not done.
It's that a nick on an arm is not a masterpiece of art.
No.
What else does he want to do to make Magaloof an art form?
Well, he wants to remove one of the horns from the top of his head and like put it at the end of his tail.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's making a Pokemon right now.
Yes. Magaloof is kind of a Pokemon, yeah.
He really is. Okay. So he wants to remove a horn.
Yes.
All right. So I think he needs a different tool. So I think he throws the knives at Magaloof. They lock. They lodge into the door. Magaloof just barely avoids them. And then I think he grabs this weird kind of archaic suction tool. Like it's got a handle on one end, and then it's got like these claws that pinch that you can then like or pinch that you can pull, and then
it's suction. Is it like a Floby or is it like a gripper? Okay,
I think it's a suction gripper.
Suction gripper, space suction gripper,
space suction gripper.
All right, and so he fires it up.
Yeah.
And does he go for the tail?
I think he's got to remove the horn, right?
The horn.
I think he goes
That's
for
what
the
you're.
horn.
Okay, so this is a horn removal device.
This is a horn removal device.
Yeah, I got my devices mixed up. So yes, because Magaloof is kind of limping, not feeling well. He is losing a lot of blood, even for a Leffengite, whatever, an Almacian. So Evazan gains ground on him quickly, fires the device, and the horn's still connected.
Yeah.
But now Magaloof's head is yanked back, and he's like in this machine. He's locked in this machine. The horn is locked.
He's locked in this machine.
He's like, and his horns are very sensitive, as we established.
Oh,
in our
yeah. So
Databank
he's
canon.
just screaming different emotions that he's feeling.
Yep.
Pride, lust, just all sorts of different emotions. He freaks out. He uses the momentum that Evazan has created by pulling him backwards, and he uses his spring tail again.
Yes, that tail.
And they go flying backwards. They fly out of the inner office, back through the reception office, crash through the window, stumble into the main street, which is just covered with sexy revelers.
Right, of all types. Not just Twi'leks, of all types there. So now the entire beach is watching.
Yeah.
And Ponda Baba is walking up. Now, the timeline, this is before Jeddah, so Ponda Baba is still all in one piece.
Yeah.
And he is walking up, and he's got some hot dogs with the equivalent of Boston Major hot dogs and like a cheeseburger. And like he's like, oh, I got it, Evazan. I don't know how Ponda Baba would translate. He went for a lunch run.
Yeah, he got some hot lugabeast.
And he sees the fighting now in the middle of the street here.
Yeah,
street fighting creatures.
So now this is a terrible situation for Magaloof because now he's got Ponda Baba coming at him too. Yeah, right. All right. So I think that Magaloof has not managed to escape. You think they're on a beach? You think like right outside? This is like a boardwalk,
like a boardwalk situation.
Yeah, I think there's the big beach parties. There's exotic booze everywhere. There's a waterfall nearby. This is just ugliness in the middle of beauty, which is I think what Evazan is kind of interested in. So
that's what he's all about.
Yeah, how can I make beautiful things ugly? Says Evazan to himself. Does Ponda Baba help?
He tries. This isn't his story, though. He runs up, and he's still got the food in his hand, and he starts, like, kicking Magaloof. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Evazan's like, grab his tail, grab his tail. And now they're trying to... And so that tail, like he said, is pretty powerful. And the tail kind of whips around, and it knocks all the food out of Baba's hands.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile, a little bit of blood has also landed exactly on them,
right?
Mixing with the actual space mustard.
Oh, so
yeah, that's become a thing of beauty.
That meal's ruined now.
That meal's totally ruined. Now, I think that there's also a videographer out there, just like people go to Cancun and make the sort of college people gone wild.
Yes. This is space creatures gone wild.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're getting great shots of this fight.
Yeah.
I think it becomes clear to Magaloof that he is fighting for his very life.
Yeah, this is it. This is fight or flight right here.
Yeah.
At its finest.
So he is pummeling Evazan. He is looking around for any tool he can find. Those hot dogs have fallen to the ground, and I think he grabs one of the hot dogs.
They instantly harden.
They become. Yes, they need to be eaten immediately, or they go rock hard.
Yeah. It's a little unknown fact about space hot dogs. And he just starts whapping Evanson in the face with his hot dog.
Cracking him with this this rock hard hot dog. And for some people watching, that's their kink. And
this is space creatures gone wild indeed. Yep.
Yeah. Other people, I think, are disgusted and are screaming.
As you should be.
Yeah. And now Evazan, I think, is in the throes of making his art.
Yes.
So he's not going to give up that easily. I think he has a comeback, witty or not, to being hit in the face with a hot dog. I think Magaloof says, I'm going to bash you with this dog until you're done.
Yeah, and Evans says, keep your meat out of my face. Yeah.
And I think as a show of force, Evazan grabs Magaloof's hand and holds it still and takes a big bite out of this rock-hard, hot lugabeast dog.
Yeah.
And I think it actually cracks one of his teeth.
Oof.
And he just says, I'll be eating this. And I think this is maybe a good time to pause our extremely gross.
Yeah. This might have been a good time to pause at the beginning.
Yeah, we should have paused earlier because it's almost lunchtime.
And warned people.
We're both quite hungry, and everything is mustard and hot dogs.
Yes. Going well here.
But let's pause our combat and decide who do we want to win.
So I want Magaloof to win. I think, though, in this case, to win just might mean to survive.
Yeah, I agree. And I think...
Because Evanson's a scoundrel, just any way you cut it.
Yeah, Evazan's going to cut him to ribbons, and he's eventually going to be cut into one ribbon by Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think Obi-Wan knew him to be a jerk because he could have just cut his arm off, but he killed him.
Right.
He straight up killed him.
Yep.
That's how much Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't like this guy.
Yep.
So I think Magaloof will have the victory. I have an idea of how he begins his escape.
Okay. Hit me, baby, hit me.
So Magaloof realizes that he is going to lose his horns if he does not escape.
Right.
He studies the situation. He's seen lots of weird things. He also sees they're being filmed. And he realizes one of the things that happens on party planets like Bustin' Major is wardrobe malfunctions.
Yes.
And that people find those really funny. And that maybe this is his best option. And he sees how loose and lazy Dr. Cornelius Evazan keeps his belt on his pants and goes, that's it.
Yeah.
My way to live
There you go.
is his pants. And I think he says, it's like, my life is in your pants. He reaches down and he just rips the belt off.
Right. Oh, no. What kind of work's he done? Never mind. And so Evanson's pants fall down.
That's what I think happens. What do you think happens next?
I think he finds himself suddenly on the beach, sans trousers. Everyone with their little HoloNet videos, uploading them to the HoloNet.
Oh, yeah.
Streaming live. And he is he's like every other creature in the galaxy. He's got shame. He's got shame. And I think Evanson and then Ponda Baba's like, your pants fell down. I'm translating, put on a babblefish in my ear there for Ponda Baba there. And Evanson scrambles and grabs his pants and pulls them back up. And of course, at this point, Magaloof has escaped the clutches.
Yeah, he had to let go in order to grab his pants, but it's too late. The video is out there.
Yes,
I think for many sentient beings, they're just like, oh, I don't want to show that unless I choose. Fair enough. But I think he feels like his artwork isn't complete.
Yes.
He has not completed that part of his body.
Of his body?
He hasn't made his body art yet.
That work's not done. That work's not done. You can't see it yet. That work's not done.
So he's
I don't like it.
as he's pulling his pants up.
Yeah.
Magaloof with the weird suction thing still attached. He starts bouncing on his tail. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Oh, I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen this. And he's knocking stands over. He is running into sexy Twi'lek women and men and other genders, and they're all falling all around the place.
Right.
He is making his getaway.
Yeah.
And I think Cornelius Evazan is probably busy trying to get the footage, right?
He's trying to get the footage. He's been shamed. He's, like you said, shown an art piece before it's ready to be shown. And it's impossible. There's too many people, too many cameras, and he's flailing about. Ponda Bob is trying to help him, and it's just not working. People are videotaping that.
Now the people are videotaping that.
The pants keep falling down. He keeps having to pull them back up.
Yeah. So
don't look at it.
So I think he was kind of playing around with it earlier, but I think this is the moment where he truly comes up with his defining catchphrase. Like the people here on Bustin' Major are overall pretty soft. They come here to party. They're vulnerable. They don't have their weapons on them.
Right.
They're young and foolish, and they're easy to intimidate.
Right.
And I think this is where he realizes the true power of shouting the number of places where he is a wanted man.
I've got the death sentence on 11 systems.
And I think people are like, oh, I'm sorry, sir.
There's not one Jedi there to stand up to him.
Nope.
They all back away.
Yeah.
Ponda Bob is there grabbing what's left of the food. And Evans like, just leave the food. We'll get more food. And he pulls his pants back. He cinches the pants back up. And I think that's when Evans looks at Ponda Baba and says, we need to leave. We got to go to Jeddah.
Yeah. Time to go to Jeddah. And I think Magaloof, bouncing away, one part of his anatomy we have not commented upon, large ears.
Yeah.
And I think he hears those final words of Evazan echoing down the street of going to Jeddah, going to Jeddah, going to Jeddah. And that's when Magaloof decides, after all of his journeys, visiting Coruscant, visiting other places, he decides it's time to go home to Almec.
This is about a voyage home. This is
about the voyage home. It's about
an emotional voyage home.
Exactly. It's about being okay with your horns just the way they are.
Just the way your horns are.
The true story of Magaloof. That was a gross, not dinner time story here on Databank Brawl. It happens, but we've introduced a major new canon. I want to go to Bustin' Major.
Yes.
And have some hot Lugabeast dogs. Ken, thank you for joining me. As always, if there are characters you want to see fight, let us know with the hashtag Databank Brawl. You can suggest matchups. You can suggest individual characters. We're going to have a flood of new characters very soon with Solo. We're still working our way through all the Canto Bite and other weirdos from The Last Jedi, so we got a lot more to come. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms, including Twitch. And you want to talk about this disgusting Databank Brawl, and I mean that in the most honorful, reverent way possible. Jump into the Discord server off of ForceCenter's Patreon page, and we can talk about it in there. Break it down. You can analyze the fight.
Yeah, please do. Please do. The Discord's been going great. It's been great to hear. Pop in there and see all of our ForceCenter listeners talking amongst themselves. It's so much fun. We got our big 100th episode coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. I got a weird one planned for episode 99 as well. If you thought this one was weird, 99 and 100 are only going to be weirder. We always want to thank Tony Thaxton for our great theme music. This is the first show that he wrote the theme music for. So great. Gets stuck in your head in the best way. You can check out his Patreon. Just go to Patreon and search for Tony Thaxton. He writes Star Wars music all the time. You can, of course, check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/ForceCenter. You can check out all of our merch at tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. If you are a patron, that's how you get access to Discord, so check that out. You can also find Databank Brawl episodes on YouTube. Our co-host here on the whole Force Center podcast feed, Adventure Jennifer Landa, adds some fun graphics, and you can experience Databank Brawl in a whole new way. You can also find my personal podcast, my other podcast, which is personal to me, Obsessed, and all my live comedy shows and albums info on my website at josephscrimshaw.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like Force Center on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as at Force Center Pod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him. I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.